Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to have you all here for part 3 of our video lesson, Motivating Students. I'm Vanusa Palacio, and in this part of our video lesson, I'll be giving you an overview of the most influential theories of motivation. The first group of theories being expectancy value theories. Well, expectancy value frameworks theorize that individuals' motivated decisions to engage in a particular task or in particular tasks and their performance and persistence can be explained by their expectations of how well they will do on the task and how much they value its achievement. So, for example, if I'm a foreign or additional language student and I see I'm progressing, I'm doing well on my task, and I feel happy about each and every achievement I get, then I feel motivated. So in this case, this is an expectancy value framework where I feel motivated because I'm doing well on a task and I see value in its achievement. Well, Atkinson's early classic model of achievement motivation integrated the constructs of need for achievement, expectancy, and value into a comprehensive theory and initiated a strong tradition of expectancy value theories of achievement motivation. Until the turn of the century, attention within this tradition focused predominantly on the expectancy dimension of achievement motivation, and in particular on the cognitive mediational processes that determine expectancy. Well, another type of framework or group of theories that try to describe motivation are the goal theories. The cognitive concept of goal has largely replaced earlier concepts of needs or drives as the factor providing the impetus for and direction of motivated action. During the past 2 decades, research attention has focused in particular on 3 key areas: goal setting, goal orientation, and goal content and multiplicity. Well, in this case, goal theories are related to the individual who sees value in a specific goal he or she has. It's a more cognitive approach to motivation, as opposed to expectancy value, which is a more emotional approach to motivation. Okay, well, so these are 2 types of theories or 2 framework of theories that have been developed in relation to motivation. But now we'll look into other important factors related to motivation, these being motivation and context. Well, human action is always embedded in a number of physical and psychological settings of varying breadth and abstraction. And central to the recent social turn in motivation research has been the growing recognition that all these environmental dimensions have a certain amount of influence on one's cognition, behavior, and achievement. So, this is a trend that is consistent across all research in psychology and education. Consequently, recent accounts of motivation and other related psychological constructs have increasingly abandoned the tacit assumption of environmental generalizability and included contextual factors as independent variables into the research paradigms. Well, however, instead of conceptualizing social context as simply another variable that influences individual motivation, there is also now a growing body of thinking that frames motivation in context as a dual individual and social phenomenon, thus integrating motivation and context in a dynamic and holistic way. In the following, we will first consider context as verbal perspectives and then examine contemporary perspectives on integrating motivation and context. So, some contextual influences on motivation. For example, features of the instructional context. For example, task and materials design, evaluation practices, and grouping structures. So these items are part, for example, of a course or of a lesson, and they by themselves may motivate and encourage students, and they are features of the instructional context. Social and cultural influences, for example, teachers, peer group, school, family, culture, and society. So these other types of influences may also determine motivation or encourage students to achieve more. So, for example, a peer or a family member may help and encourage and support students and motivate students go further, okay? So these are some of the influences in the context that may generate motivation in the case of a student, in the case of anybody who is learning a specific additional language. All right? Well, why is this important? This is important to know as teachers because when, for example, you produce a specific task or a specific lesson or a specific assessment tool, you have to take into consideration how motivated students are going to be in engaging in it, right? The same way, we should consider cultural features such as the family, the peer, the group, and yourself as motivational factors in terms of your own students. So, important thing to understand is that motivation doesn't come out of context. It is always included in a specific context. And this context oftentimes is planned and is implemented and is developed by the teacher with the students. And if the students are not engaged in this specific context, then motivation may not arise or motivation may not be there in that specific situation, okay? Well, let's keep that in mind when we plan our lessons. So in this specific part, we've looked into some of the theories of motivation, which are the expectancy value theories that are related more to the emotional side of motivation, and the goal sets or the goal theories, which are related more to the cognitive side of motivation. And we've also looked into the role of the context in motivation. We have seen that the context should be integrated and is part of any type of motivation we try to, encourage or arise in our students, okay? So thank you very much for being with me during this third part. And in the next part, we'll be talking about motivation for learning a specific additional language. See you.